Have you ever noticed how one small comment can ruin your entire day? A single ignored message, a careless word, and suddenly, your peace is gone. But what if the problem was never them? What if it was the way we react? Words carry power, sometimes more power than we realize. A simple sentence, a small mistake, or even silence from someone we care about can shift our mood instantly. We often believe other people control how we feel, but the truth is far more important. No one can disturb your inner peace unless you give them permission. Long ago, in a quiet village nestled near the mountains, lived a man named Raheem. He wasn't known for his kindness or his wisdom, but for his temper. Raheem became angry over the smallest things. If his food wasn't prepared perfectly, he raised his voice. If an animal wandered into his field, he shouted. Even the laughter of children playing outside his home irritated him. Raheem believed the world was the problem. He thought people lacked respect, and that was why he couldn't stay calm. His wife, Amina, would often speak to him gently, asking why such small moments caused him so much suffering. Raheem never listened. He felt completely justified in his anger. What Raheem didn't realize was that every time he reacted with anger, he was handing over control of his own peace to others. One summer, a monk arrived in the village. He wore simple clothes and carried himself with a quiet, powerful calm. He would often sit beneath a large tree near the village well, speaking little but leaving a strong impression on everyone who listened. People said his words were few, but they were deeply meaningful. After another day filled with anger, Raheem found himself feeling exhausted and empty. That night, lying in the dark, he asked himself a question he had never considered before. Why do I always feel worse after I lose my temper? The next morning, with a heavy heart, he went to meet the monk. The monk looked at him and asked, "When you become angry, how long does that feeling stay with you?" Raheem answered, "Sometimes for hours, sometimes for an entire day. And when it finally fades," the monk continued, "How do you feel?" Raheem paused, the answer dawning on him. He felt drained, sad, and restless. The monk explained that anger is like fire. It doesn't just burn the person it's aimed at. It burns the one who holds it. When the mind is disturbed, clarity disappears. It's just like water when it's shaken. It can no longer reflect a clear image. Raheem then asked, "So, should I just remain silent when people treat me poorly?" The monk smiled gently and replied, "No, you must learn to respond, not react. Reaction is emotional and uncontrolled. Response is calm and conscious. When someone throws negativity at you, you can either catch it or you can step aside. The choice is always yours." From that day on, Raheem began to practice. It wasn't easy. His old habits of anger returned again and again. But each time he paused, took a deep breath, and chose calm over anger. And with every choice, something inside him began to change. One day at the market, a merchant tried to deceive him. Raheem felt that familiar heat rise within his chest. But instead of shouting, he simply paused, looked at the merchant, and calmly walked away. For the very first time in a situation like that, he felt peaceful, not victorious. Over time, people in the village noticed the change. Insults no longer controlled him. Challenges still came, but they no longer had the power to steal his peace. Raheem learned that true strength doesn't come from raising your voice, but from mastering your reaction. Years later, Raheem became known as the calmest man in the village. When people asked him how he managed to stay so peaceful in a chaotic world, he would answer simply, "You cannot control the wind, but you can always learn how to sail." The lesson from this story is clear. We cannot stop people from speaking carelessly. We can't stop problems from appearing in our lives, but we can stop giving them the power to control our inner world. Every reaction is a choice. Every moment of calm is a show of strength, and the one who controls their reaction ultimately controls their life. So the next time someone tries to disturb your peace, remember Raheem's story. Remember that real strength isn't in reacting loudly, but in staying calm when the world tries to shake you. Your peace is your power. Don't give it away so easily. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content on finding inner peace and strength. We'll see you in the next one.